What's going on, guys? Welcome to Ajax Reviews. Today we review Spirit Camp. Directed by Kerry Beyer. When a troubled girl is forced to attend cheerleader camp, she finds herself embroiled in a bitter rivalry with the bitchy ringleader. But when people start turning up dead, they must put aside their differences to survive. So, Spirit Camp. That's a movie that I've been told for quite a few years now. You have to watch, man. You have to see this movie. It's a must watch. It's on like different Facebook groups. People saying Spirit Camp is so good. Other people saying, dude, if you like old campy slasher flicks with hot girls that, strip down and all that, this is a movie to watch. So I'm like, well, I love all those things. So let's watch it. Well, I happen to have it downloaded already. I had it for quite a few years, just never watched it. So I put it on. Here we go.
All right, I'm coming.
I'm sure you are.
So it's hard to believe that in 2009, it was that difficult to come up with an original idea. Try this one. How many times have we heard this? In the past, some murders happen. Guy gets arrested. 2 years later, he escapes. All right. Murders happen again. I mean, is it that hard to think of a f***ing idea that hasn't been done to death? And in case you're wondering and guessing, the escaped prisoner wasn't the killer. And speaking of kills, most of the kills were done off screen, and what it did show of them, they weren't very impressive. The blood, however, looked pretty damn good. Only problem with that is we got it used as, let's call it a topping, because it was used only to pour over dead bodies. Somebody would have a wound on their face and they would just have blood poured on their body, and sometimes it wouldn't even touch the wound. It was like just taking ketchup and all over your fries. Like, you can't determine where it's going to go. It seems like that's what they use the blood for. We did, however, get to see some decent looking women in cheerleader outfits. Problem here, though, is that the ones that we wanted to see wearing nothing kept their clothes on, while we got clear shots of the other ones that we didn't want to see. These are not the boobs you're looking for. The story stayed pretty cliche the entire time, and the acting was f***ing miserable. I mean, man. Why do people like this shit? And there was no surprise to me who the killer was. When the killer was finally revealed, I was like, yep, exactly the person that I thought it was. I'm really curious why so many people online talk about how awesome this movie is. I've seen better movies with better looking women that showed more skin. I mean, that's the selling point of this movie. And they didn't deliver on that. So yeah, I'm pretty confused as to why this movie gets the love that it gets. So I'll say this. If you've seen this movie, or you see this movie after watching this review, leave me a detailed comment as to why you liked it, or hated it, or loved it, or loathed it, or whatever the hell you thought of this movie. Be detailed. I'm curious to know. I want to see if maybe I'm just being too critical, or if you agree with me. So I'm curious there.
Oh, that's my new move. I call it the roller coaster.
So what did I like about this movie? Multiple girls and short skirts with the occasional brief boob shot. Boobs? Not in this movie. The other thing I liked is the blood looked decent. However, it was just poured on people like ketchup. So then what did I dislike about this movie? Starting off, the editing. The editing was just bad, man. There were shots that were too tight. They shouldn't have been tight. Tights that were too wide. They shouldn't have been wide. Medium shots that should have been tight. Tight shots that should have been medium. I mean, it was just like, holy f***, dude. Like, who did this? Another thing I didn't like was the acting. The acting was just terrible, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, I understand the girls look good, but they should be able to speak, too. Just saying. Another thing I didn't really like that was really kind of distracting was all the harsh lighting. If it's nighttime and they're in the woods, there shouldn't be a big bright spotlight on somebody like washing them out of the scene. It was just way too distracting, way too harsh. Another thing I really didn't like, man, is that most of the kills were all off screen. You didn't really see anything. And last, I mean, the CG was just terrible. The story was cliche and stupid. Like, I did not enjoy this movie at all. So in conclusion, would I recommend this movie? To the average horror fan, no. Not at all. But to people watching this that are going to leave me comments, absolutely. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this movie. Other than that, this movie can right off. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to give this movie a 1.5 out of 5. And that's going to do it for me for today, guys. So remember, until next time, stay smart, stay clean, keep the dream. Don't let the man get you down, because if he does, he may handcuff you to a bed, do nasty shit to you, only to try to add to the story and make you give a shit about the final girl. But it doesn't work. Epic fail.